Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Build, to last day of Build, unless you're going to the post day. Today we're going to talk about developing multi-tenancy solutions using Power BI embedded. Talk about some best practices. I'm Ran. I'm from the Power BI engineering team. I have Omri with me too. Some of the topics we'll go through today is we'll dive a little bit in depth of how we would manage our users using some APIs that we provide with the Power BI embedded solution. We'll then dive into a small topic called role-level security, which would be used later on when discussing multi-tenancy. We'll see how it looks in development stages and how it would look like in actual running code using Power BI embedded. Then I would hand off the talk to Omri, which would he discuss the multi-tenancy solutions, different varieties of options when developing multi-tenancy solutions. And then we'll talk about going to production, how you can take your development environment and take it to the next step to scale to your infinite number of users. So a little bit about the surface of APIs that we provide you as Power BI or the Power BI for developer surface area. We start with the Power BI APIs. These are a set of REST protocol APIs, HTTP-based. We do provide a C# wrapper for most of those. If not all of them, you can get them using NuGet packages. Or if you're not using C#, you can use any HTTP framework to get those calls. We do have a new feature that we want to show you now, which is called the Try Now. So in our public documentation for the REST API, you can see every API that exists now, and you can also browse through the documentation. Let's see reports, for instance, and see all the APIs Power BI gives you. The new feature is that try it now. Okay, this green button right here. If I were to click this, this would ask me to sign in. I'm already signed in, so I can use this. I see the URL here. This is a get REST call. This is the actual call that's being made with the header for the authentication. The authorization, sorry, and if I run it inside the browser, I can see a sample of, not a sample, but the actual response that I've gotten for get reports. That would be my reports. We would use this later when using embedded, so this is a good example of that try now. You're welcome to try that now or later. The next set of APIs is the Azure Resource Management. You might see it called ARM, stands for Azure Resource Management APIs. These are for anything that you need involving capacities, which we'll cover later, maybe some AAD user usage or anything like that. And the last set of APIs is our client-side APIs, the JavaScript APIs. If you were in yesterday's talk, we showed some samples. You're welcome to go to the playground, aka .ms.pbi.js, to see all the capabilities involved with Power BI embedded and see and play with them on a sample report or bring your own report. If you were not able to see yesterday's session, it was recorded, so you're welcome to see that. Or if you figure out a way to travel in time, you can go ahead and see yesterday's session. A little bit about how an app is built. So I'm guessing most of you already know this structure. I just want to show you how we figure and how we layer our sessions. So usually, if it involves data, it has some storage. Your storage is your responsibility, obviously, or you use some Azure resources to store your data. And then you would build your app. Your app has logic, AI, some workflows, and everything. And it might involve some analytics. Hopefully, you've chosen Power BI Embedded, or after this talk, you'll transition to Power BI Embedded. and that would be integrated into your app. Again, this was covered in yesterday's session of how to set up your first Power BI embedded environment and how to integrate it inside your solution. You still can go to the documentation, the playground, or the samples, which one of them will show you now later for LLS as a demo. Today, we're going to talk about the layer for the user permission and the tenancy level of the application. So authenticating against Power BI APIs is usually done with an AAD entity. You would need to sign in or get credentials and a token that is valid by AAD. And then you have to communicate against Power BI APIs using that identity. With Power BI Embedded, you have two options of how Power BI knows who is allowed to access what content. You can choose to have every user in your application have their own Power BI account, at which point they would work with their account against the Power BI API and Embedded as one example of that. This usually costs per user, and if you have a wide client base, you might not want to pay for each one. At which point you'd choose to separate your application authentication mechanism and how Power BI relates to those users. This is the second bullet here. This is for the non-Power BI users. It means that Power BI is not aware of how your users are laid out or who they actually are. You can separate using AAD for authenticating against Power BI APIs and Power BI Embedded, and your choice of mechanism for authenticating your own user. It can be OAuth, user password based on a notepad file, whatever you want. You manage your own users. We just need to know a single entity that's known to Power BI. We usually refer to it as a master user. And coming in June is using service principals as that entity that Power BI recognizes. We'll cover that later if we have time, or if not, you can come and ask questions about the service principal. So authenticating your own users and then transferring that information to Power BI separately is referred to an app owns data scenario, usually in our documentation, or embedding for non-Power BI users, which means, again, that Power BI does not know your users. You know your users. We know your application. You usually need to own and manage your own users. You would need to manage their own permission and permission level if some of your users can only view the data and reports or dashboards, or some of the users are more advanced that they can edit, create, and distribute their own reports over your application. The way we do that with Power BI is you grant them a token, a special token we call an embed token, which to generate, you would need to give them the artifact you're trying to embed, the identifier for that, the permission level that they're granted to know to use that artifact, and maybe the level of data they're permitted to actually see. Okay? So how does that work? On the top right-hand side, you see the application users and some authentication mechanism you have, and your own application front end in the browser that the user is using right now. Your application back end would need to authenticate itself against AAD, get the identity of that master user or service principal. At this point, you would transfer that identity to Power BI to generate a special token dedicated to a certain artifact identified by a certain identifier and the permission level they're allowed to get. You'd get that special embed token. We'd see it later. This token is transferred to your front end, at which point you transfer it to Power BI. And from there on, the embedded iframe talks to Power BI using that special token. Okay? That what covers the embed token part. The second topic I want to talk to you about is row-level security. We've talked about When you generate a token, you can designate a user, the artifact itself, the permission level, and then the data they're allowed to view. That refers to the data layer, sorry, and role-level security comes into play. So a little about that, and then we'll see a demo of how it integrates to Power BI embedded. Role-level security is a pair of roles and identities that are assigned to those roles that filter the data inside a data set so that users that aren't allowed to see that data can't see that actual data. We have two forms of doing that sorry, in Power BI. The first one is called static RLS, refers to static assignment of users to roles at development time or data construction time. That's static RLS, that's the first one. The second example here is referred to as dynamic RLS. Dynamic being that you implement the role-level security using DAX functions in your data set, or even if you're using analysis services in the analysis service data architecture you've used, which infer the security level from the user that is accessing the data now using the macro we'll see in a moment. And you'd transfer that user identity using Power BI through the token to the actual data level. So how do, sorry, it's a little dry. How do you find roles in Power BI? Power BI allows you to define roles and even experiment with how they would look. When you define your data set in Power BI desktop, you'd go to Manage Roles and then define a role and assignment to that role if you're using static RLS. And if you're using dynamic RLS, we'll see in just a minute that you work with that DAX function using the username. So let me just go to my demo machine. Okay, so we see Power BI desktop. Again, I'm in the modeling tab right here. I don't know if you can see that. And I have some sort of a data set here. It has a bunch of users, a color, and some price tags relating to shirts. If I go to Manage Roles, I see that I have two roles that we use. The first one would be color. It filters, or it's relating to that price list table. And that assignment is color equals username. I'm trying to zoom, but you can see that. That username is a known DAX function. If you've ever used analysis service or Power BI before, that DAX function usually relates to an AAD identity that is accessing the data. And we'll see how it changes soon in Power BI Embedded. So that username is a function that infers the username or the user that is accessing the data at runtime. I have another owner role that uses the same. If I want to experiment with what the level looks like from an end user perspective, I can always go to View as Role, and I can check that I want to see the role for colors. And for the purpose of this, I'll see it as if username was red. If I click OK, I see that the data itself has been filtered to only show what was color equals red. If you'd notice, red is not actually a person, because we're using that function to transfer information to the data level. It's not necessarily an actual username. Okay, it's just a saved DAX function that we reuse for that purpose. Okay, we'll later see how we can use it in Power BI Embedded. So how does dynamic RLS work? Like I said, the username function usually is used to transfer that UPN or some identifier for the user to analysis services or for the underlying data in Power BI or its related data sources. We use the same one in our embed token to leverage that function. And username can be used not only to transfer a user, but any string that we can use to filter the data. Like I've just shown you, I've used it to filter the color red, okay? You can map your data however you want and filter based on that username text that is there, okay? You can even, if you're that familiar with DAX, you can parse it and transfer more than one information in that string. Okay, the way it's structured is that when I generate a token, other than the access level that for now is view, but I can obviously do edit, I can transfer a list of effective identities that separate that master user AAD identity from the actual identity that is viewing the data for the embedded solution. So the effective identity array would be a list of username and role assignments. That way I can have a single AAD entity known to the application, but multiple effective identities assigned to that session. Okay, that username, again, is defined at runtime. Okay, you can transfer that information at your application runtime. You don't have to define it in Power BI beforehand. You just have to make the data or build the data in analysis services or Power BI in a way that it can infer that string to an actual filter level. Otherwise, you'd see an empty data set because it would filter everything. So how does it look in Power BI embedded? I have the Visual Studio developer sample already running. If you're not familiar with that, you're welcome to go to powerbi.com/embed setup. You then go through a simple set of steps and develop your first application. You get a sample project, a Visual Studio project. You just run it, and you get those three options: report, dashboard, or tile. We have already set up this sample to run the same PBIX file that I've just shown you with the color red and the owners, so I can see it embedded in my own report. The nice thing here is the simple users would just use it to see how embedded works. We're in an advanced scenario, so I can view it as a different user, and then I'd get these two text boxes to play with. For now, I can choose color and the color red. Press reload, and the embedded report would show up with that filtered data. Okay, this is the same level of filtering that we've seen in Power BI Embedded, in Power BI Desktop, sorry, working in Power BI Embedded. So how does it look in code or in the actual use that we need for it? Here, when I'm setting up my embedded report code, I'll just zoom in a little. The first level would be to set up my credentials or token against AAD. This is a standard routine. And then I'm going to use the Power BI client, which is part of our C# wrapper for every Power BI REST API call. I get the report, I get the workspace I'm using, and then I'll go to this part. Which talks about effective identities. Now, I have a report, I have a data set which relates to it, so I need to get the effective identities from that data set. And for generating the generate token request, I can get an effective identity which is defined by a user, the data set it uses, and the list of roles separated by a comma, okay, that I'm using. At which point I'm just using our APIs to generate a token. This is again a view level, permission level with that list of effective identities inside my request. How it looks like, the token I'm getting is fully encrypted, which means that nobody can hijack that and change the roles and effective identities by the user themselves. because the token is encrypted by Power BI, and only Power BI can decrypt and generate a new one. So as soon as I have this token, the rest would be to transfer that token into my front end, and the rest is just front end code that transfers that token, embed URL, and ID to my HTML code, which uses the Power BI JavaScript SDK, and all it does is create this embed config that if you saw last session, we talked about it, or you can watch that in the playground as well. And the access token is transferred here, and from there on, my browser is using that iframe, which recognizes that user using that token that I've generated, which is limited to the report I've designated with view permissions with that effective identity that only this data they can see. Okay, I'm now going to hand off to Omri, who is going to discuss multi-tenancy.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how you build a multi-tenant solution. So when we talk about building a multi-tenant solution, we talk about how we define the separation level between your customers or tenants. We will cover two of the recommended multi-tenant solutions that you can use. So when you develop your application, you have your service principal or master user, of course. And one thing you can do is you can create a single workspace, which we call it like a golden workspace, right? So this is where you develop all your reports, your dashboards, your data sets. And of course, it's connected to pre-production data. So when you're done developing and you want to onboard a new client, you basically have two options. So the first option is using a single tenant workspace approach. So what this approach basically means is you separate each of your new customers by creating a new workspace for this customer, migrating all the content from the development golden workspace you had and connecting it to only the user data set. So this means that if you have n users, you will have n workspaces connected to n data set, right? And once you do that, then you need to assign all those workspaces in a dedicated capacity. Now, this migration can be done automatically using our REST APIs, which Ran demonstrated before. So like I said, the process is you get a new customer, you create a workspace, you can import a PBIX file, you clone and rebind to the new data set your reports from the golden workspace. Then you update the data source and connections to the data source of your specific customer. Then you need to do cloning of dashboards. And after that, you can assign capacities, embed, and update reports as you like. So I'm going to show you a quick example of code of how you can do it. So what you see here, let me zoom in. It's basically a C# function for onboarding of new customers. We use here this client. It's the C# SDK Ran was talking about, which is a C# wrapper that basically implements all of our REST APIs. So what happens here is, first of all, you create a new group request where the workspace name, workspace, and group are the same, is the new customer name. After that, you create the actual group with that request, and you get the target workspace ID. After that, you need to create your new data set inside the target workspace. After you created a data set, you need to clone the reports, right? So you make the clone report request, which you have the customer name, the target workspace, and the new created dataset ID. After that, you use the clone report APIs, which, as you can see, again, it's all done with this client, which is basically a wrapper around the REST APIs. You give it when you see this M, it means it belongs to the golden workspace. So this is basically the golden workspace ID and the golden workspace report that we want to clone, and the clone report request. And from that, we get the ID. Here, you can map all your new IDs and save them for further use in your application, so you can manage them better. So after you do that, you have your new report, which is cloned and connected to the new data source. You need to do the same for dashboards. So here you get all the dashboards from the golden workspace, and you go over each of the dashboards, and you add the new dashboards to the new group. Now, dashboards are a bit different than reports. So after you do this, you will have empty dashboards in your new workspace. So now you need to get each of the tiles from the original dashboards and clone them to the new ones. So that's what happens here. You get the tile of this specific dashboard, and then you clone it. So after you've done this, basically, you created a new workspace for a new customer with all the relevant data connected to the right data source. So the second option you have when you want to work with multi-tenants is using the multi-tenant workspace approach. Now, what this approach means is basically, instead of creating a single workspace that is connected to just a single customer data, you create only one workspace, a production workspace, which all your customers share, and it's connected to customer data, which is combined of all the customer data. So in the same data set, you have data of all your customers. So how do you manage your customers? Custom management here is done through RLS filtering, like Ran described before. So basically, when you onboard a new client or a new customer, all you need to do is add the role, and you automatically get the separation in the data level. So you're probably asking yourself, which solution should I use, right? So you have this table here who kind of gives a few points on, like scalability and data architecture, so you can get a better notion of what fits you. So it really depends on your implementation and needs, which solution you need to choose from. One of the basic things you probably figured it out is your data architectures. If, for example, you already have a data set that you have inside all customer data, then you probably will go with the multi-tenant workspace working with RLS. And if you have separate data sources, then the first approach will fit you. There are also things to consider, like multi-geo needs. For example, if you have data that needs to be located in all kind of places around the world, then it will be much easier to implement using a data set which is specific to users, and just put it in the right place where you need. So one of the important things to understand is that when you're using a single tenant workspace, then you manage your users in the application level. And when you're using a multi-tenant workspace, you manage your users at the data level. And again, these are all best practices. And if either of the ways fits you, then you can combine them, and you can create your own way that fits you best. So the next topic is going to be promoting your solution to production. So once you you need to promote your solution to production, you must purchase capacity, right? Capacity, what it means basically is virtual hardware that is needed for the embedded component in order to work. So there are a few types of capacities available. There's ASKU, EM, and PSKUs. Now, the question is, this is really confusing, so probably asking yourself, which one should we get? So the main differences between them is, first of all, where you purchase them. So ASKUs are Azure-based, and EM and PSKUs are Office-based. Also, a big difference is the billing method. When you purchase ASKUs, you pay by the hour, and EM and PSKUs, you pay a monthly fee. Same for commitments, and in ASKUs, you have no commitments. You can pause your capacities at any second and stop paying for it, while on EM and PSKUs, you pay by the month or by the year. Another difference is when you purchase EM or PSKUs, you get more than just capabilities for embedding. For example, PSKUs, you also get Power BI licenses and things like that. But the rule of thumb here is if you only need it for embedding, then ASKUs are your best option. But if you already have an EM or PSKUs, which is a possibility, then you can use the one you already have. So we're going to talk a bit more about the ASKUs. So ASKUs have 6 pricing tiers from A1 to A6, A1 being the cheapest. It costs $1 an hour or $7.50 a month for A1 capacity. And here you can just see kind of how many virtual cores and memory and peak rendering per hours you're going to get. What's also nice about A capacities is that it is an Azure resource. So you can manage it, you can create it, delete it, scale up and down, suspend, resume, and you can do all that also with APIs. So you can really have control of your capacity. If, for example, you know that you have, you're, for example, on A3 pricing tier, and you know that on the weekend you don't have a lot of traffic, then you can configure it with an API that over the weekend you go down to A1, and so you can save money, for example. Also, some of the things that comes with Azure, Azure matrices, you can set all kind of alerts, use Azure diagnostics, and more. So now I'm going to show what you can do with Azure and how you can create a capacity. So this is the Azure portal, if you're not familiar with it. So if you want to create a new capacity, then you can just go to All Resources, Add, and then you just look for Embed, Power BI Embedded. Then you can create it. It's as simple as that. You just need to register, of course, but it's as simple as that. So I've already registered, of course, so you can see it over here. It's on my favorite tab, Power BI Embedded. So here are some existing capacities, and I can create another one if I want to. I'll just press the Add button. Just need to give it a name. You have a subscription and resource group. Basically means who pays for it, and a pricing tier, so you can choose from. All right, so that would take about a minute. Okay. So let's go to another capacity we have here, which you see you have an active capacity. It's a demo capacity. Now, of course, everything that I'm doing here, from creation to scaling and pausing, you can do with an API. You don't have to physically go to the Azure portal. So, for example, here I want to pause the capacity. I just press pause. And again, we just pause the capacity. Go back. Okay, so if you've seen here, the demo capacity is paused. The new capacity we've created is provisioning, is not ready yet. But you can go and you can restart your capacity here. And also you have a pricing tier here, so you can go and just scale up or down or whatever you want. As I mentioned, you also have metrics and other stuff you can look at. So for example, we can take another capacity and go to metrics. For example, I want to see the memory per workload, right? So here I can see a graph, right, with the memory per workload. And I can even set an alert right here that will alert me whenever I go to a certain threshold. And if I go above a certain threshold, I can scale up my capacity. And if I go below a certain threshold, I can scale down. So it gives me better control for my solution, control my pricing. Okay, so we got some time, so we go over authenticating with service principal. So service principal is something you would use instead using master user. If you're familiar with the master user, if you're not familiar with it, it's a single Power BI Pro license which is used to represent your application, and it used to be a must to do Power BI embedded solutions. So now I think it's on public preview, right? So there's a new thing called service principal, which basically it's a security principle that allows you to do all the API calls and authentication, and it is not a Power BI user. So why would you use it? So first of all, you have better security. It's secret-based and not password-based. You get better automation and scale, and have less management overhead. So how does service principal work? It can use, again, to do all the API calls, but it's not a Power BI Pro user, or not a Power BI user at all. So you cannot log in with your service principal account to powerbi.com and see content there. But service principal, you are treating it as a user. For example, the way that you will enable service principal in your solution is you go as a Power BI admin to Power BI admin portal. You can see that here on the right side. I don't know if you see my pointer. This is actually a snapshot from powerbi.com. You go to admin portal, tenant settings, and then you need to enable the use of service principal for your account, which you can do as a Power BI admin. Now, after that, if you want to use service principal for a workspace, then just add it, and you will see it just as a regular user. So if you look at the users of that workspace, you will see the service principal there. So, as I mentioned, you need to be a PBI admin. There's also a link to the documentation here. It's in public preview, and started of June, it will be GA. So some of the differences between master user and service principal is, first of all, a master user cannot be used when using multi-factor authentication, and the service principal can be used. It's also different. It's a different who generates them. So in order to generate a master user, you need to be an AAD tenant admin instead of a PBI admin, Power BI admin for service principal. And for scalability, you need to have a manual work when you're creating a master user. You cannot automate this process, but service principal is automatically created. And like I said before, the credential management master user is password-based, and service principal is secret-based. So you need a secret rotation instead of password changes, which is more secure. And licensing, master user must be a Power BI Pro license, which costs money. It's about $10 per month. And a service principal does not require any license, so it's free. So basically, over our 2 sessions, yesterday and today, we went over the entire workflow of creating an embedded solution. We talked about creation in Power BI Desktop. We even saw Ron show today how you can create, how you can use RLS in Power BI Desktop, how you provision, how you set up an embed solution. It was also demonstrated yesterday. Then you use the REST and JavaScript APIs in order to embed your solution inside an app. And today we talked about how you deploy the app and automate for multi-tenancy. So here are some resources, links, if you want to know more, read more, give you a couple of minutes to take pictures. You can also take the presentation off the deck. Here are some of the sessions, but I think we're the last one for build, so don't memorize this. But tomorrow we do have a post-day workshop. It's a full-day workshop, so if you're registered to it, me and Ron, we're going to be there. So we'll see you then. And that's it. If you have any questions, we got time. Just step to the microphone.
Embed. Can you explain the renders per hour?
What?
The renders per hour or whatever I saw when it came up about the sort of embedded server sizes in the A series?
In the A series? You said about?
It would say like renders per hour, like so the A1.
Oh, that means like peak renders per hour, which means that if you have, for example, if you have like 300 peak renders per hour, then it means that if 300 people would try to embed at the same time,
within 1 hour?
Yeah. Well,
so that's
something like
so
that.
Over a period of an hour, it said 300. Does that mean you can do 300
I would not take those numbers, like they came from the sky.
Okay.
It more means for you as a rule of thumb, if you're expecting a certain traffic volume, then you'd probably want corresponding hardware to support it. Because basically, this hardware accounts for generation of tokens, anything that involves querying the data and refreshing it. So if you're expecting a certain amount of traffic, this is probably the tier for you. It doesn't work. It's limited at that amount. Over that, if you have an A1 and you have 1,000 users in the same hour, there probably would be some lag that you don't want. So for a reasonable experience, you would probably want to scale up to the next level.
But also, it really depends on your data and the queries you're generating. So the best thing here, and that's the good thing about if you're purchasing A capacities, is it's adaptable, right? So you can check one up, and if you see some performance issues, then you can scale up. And so
it's not what I was worried about more is it's saying you can render 300 controls.
It's not a hard limit. It's more of
a hard limit, no.
Any more questions? Okay, so I guess we're done a little early. Thank you.
Thank you.